2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. All aboard! Well, I left you guys kind of hanging on the basic design, and this one I'm going to go into a little bit more of what I've done in elevation and why. And you've seen it from the top view down. Now I'm going to show it to you on the side. I've been working on this thing and tearing it apart and putting it back together, and I'm getting ready to tear it back apart again. And let's see, where should we start here? What I've done was I've terminated all of my outer tracks down to a incline of 0 down here onto the base, so that I can blend it in going into the cork road bed here. All this is all smoothed out. So all 4 of these outer tracks are going to terminate out on the same level as this cork. And I did the same thing on this side. And that's where that one will terminate out, and then the road bed will go out there to it. Same here. Now, I've raised this track up, not significantly, but you know, it was at 4 inches, and well, the other track basically went from underneath the crossing point down to a 1, and then stayed a 1, and then came back up to a 2. I've basically changed all that now. I've got a 2 that goes down to a 1 over here, and I needed to get it down as low as I could because I wanted to get it underneath the bridge there. And then it would, I need to decline it all the way down and try to terminate it before I hit the flat area. So I needed, so you can see it goes from a flat area here around the back side of this mountain, goes to a 1, and then continues, basically it's a continual climb from there all the way up, where I go from a 2-inch riser, and then I added another one. So it's a constant 4-degree climb all the way around to there. And then it's basically 6 inches tall here before it goes over the valley here. And I put at least right here's 2 foot of flat 6 inches before it hits that bridge. So that's a 2 foot, that's 24 inches there. On the other side, coming off of this bridge, there is no declines or inclines coming into or off of the bridge. And over here it's 6 inches too. Now the bridge itself, these are those bridges I found over at the train show in Plano. And I put this on here. I'm going to go ahead and fix this bridge into there for now. But my ultimate goal is going to be to build one of these. And this is the kit I'm looking at, but it's not near long enough. But the kit basically gives you an idea how to do it. And then I can always supplement and buy some more wood to do some more of the legs. And I can make it longer and match this, but that's how wide this bridge was. That's just basically where I ended up. I wanted it wide in the middle. So that's why that bridge is there. And let's see, then it goes 6 inches and then starts declining right about in here, and starts a decline down to 4 inches where it goes over this other bridge on the other side. And then it goes 4 inches, and then there's another 6 inches. There's 6 inches of straight. I made sure that I had at least 6 inches of straight track here before it hits the bridge, and the same thing, 6 inches on the backside before it starts doing any turning. I kind of learned my lesson on the last track for doing that, so I didn't want to fall into the same track. And let's see. Let's talk about the radiuses of this thing. Now that you see basically how the bridges are laid out. This first circle over here is 20-inch radius all the way around. I got that all fixed. And then it tightens up right in here to a 19. So I had to tighten it up a little bit more to get this to cross. And then this right here, this track goes around, and that's a 23 all the way around to where it flattens out and will join this road bed here down the front line. On the inside here, this is also 20 inches. 20 inches all the way around, and then as it comes around, there is no hard stops of 18 or 20 degrees radius to a straight. It's flowing, which would be impossible to do if I had fixed tracks of straight and an 18-inch curve or 20-inch curve. There's just no way to do that. This is where the flex track comes in. We'll talk about that in a minute for what I'm doing. But 20, and then it mellows out, goes through here, and then goes back into that 19, coming out that way, and then back around to a 23 on the outside. So I had to tighten 2 curves up. It was basically out of my 20 here. I had to tighten it up to a 19 to get across the bridge, and coming out of the underneath area, I had to go to a 19 here, a 19 before I hit a 23. It's a 19 to there, and then it starts easing out to a 23 where it ends over here in a 23. Now this wouldn't be possible with normal track, so I got this Pico track. And Pico track, I'm not your expert on this Pico track. I do know this: a piece of straight Pico track, when you look down at it, it's not straight. So what I've looked at was, I found these things in Canada. Actually there's some American companies to do it. They make these track alignment gauges, and they're put out by who's a ribbon rail, and these are made in metal. And I found these a couple different places, but nobody had everything that I needed. So what I ended up getting, first of all, is I thought I was going to have to do 18s. So I bought this ribbon, this Fast Tracks stuff for an 18-degree radius. I bought a 20-degree radius in metal, and actually the metal ones were $8. And these here were, I think, 15 or something. So the wooden ones, and out of Canada. So the 22s were out of Canada, and the 23 was a short one, and it was like $4.85. But the way these things work is, as you can see, this track appears to be straight by eye. When you look down it, it's not so straight. But what you do is you take one of these little gizmos and you press it between the tracks like that, and it straightens up the track. And then you can push it down, I suspect, and as you push it down, it straightens up the track. Or you can leave it in there and put your nails down through the holes to keep your track straight. And on the same thing, you could take the metal ones. If you want to check your radius, you can put this 20 degrees and put it in there and bend the track around, and then run that tool around the inside of your rails, and it'll fix you a 20. Now I'm gonna have to, since I have some easement built into here, I'm gonna have to use the 20s where 23s where I need them, and then as it tightens up a little bit, I'll have to go some of the other ones. I may even actually have to eyeball it a little bit. I think it'll be better than what I had. But all the radiuses and all are done. Everything's done on the track. But as you could tell, I got this Frankenstein looking thing with, I had to buy a package of 250 of these pins, plus another one for 75 pins, and I had 75 pins to begin with. By the way, you can buy 250 pins on Amazon, the T-pins, 2-inch T-pins, for like $7.95, or you can buy 75 of the Woodland Scenics for $10. So, if you need a bunch of these pins, don't buy those. Just, this is not an advertisement for them. I had to do it as cheap as I want, and I needed a bunch of pins to get this stuff all pinned up. Now what I need to do is I'm going to take the outer track off. I'm going to take the outer track off, the bridge is off, because everything is set where I need it. It's time to glue down this bottom layer of risers. They're where I need them. Normally I would put the track on there and run it, but everything is better. I may regret doing this, but everything is better. every one of the points that I had before is better. So I'm going to skip putting my track on here and running it on a wobbly riser. Everything is better, and I've doubled and triple checked it, and may even quadruple check it here after I get done talking to you again. But then I'm going to remove these outer ones after I draw them on there, so I can get down behind there, pull the pins, and I'm going to start gluing from the inside and get these things, these risers glued in. And then I am where I'm at. You know what? It's never too late at any part. I think what I'll do is I'll glue them down, and then I may put the track on it. But you know, the track is the problem. If I go to putting all these pieces of track together, I'm gonna have to, and they're flex, and I go through the trouble of getting them all in the right shape to put them all in there, and I got to take them back off. And the other thing is when you're doing these curves, you got to put two pieces of this track together to get a good curve, especially where they're hooked at in the middle. So I'm gonna have these giant big pieces of track, and I'm gonna have to hang them off the wall or put them on and hang them off the wall. One thing I didn't like about the initial part of putting this track together was it said, put it together, test it, take it apart. Put it together, test it, take it apart. Put it together, test it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna skip some of that this time. But because of a little more experience, the things that I knew to look at, I don't have those problems right now. I don't have those problems. Well, my process of gluing all these risers, I was trying to find out where I went wrong last time and see if I could find a particular spot. And what I found was every one of these risers, when you make a turn, tilted. And you can see this one, when it straightens out, is straight, but it's actually out. Now I've taken out as much of it as I can with the sticks after the fact, because I already had them glued down. So I'm gonna have to do a little sanding, I would suspect, to get these things perfect. And the turns over here, they're pretty good until it gets into these turns, and then they let's get all the way to there. But these turns do have a tilt on them, so that's one thing I'll have to adjust for as I go through. I didn't do that last time, didn't know. Okay, this is an overview. I finished up gluing all these risers down. This is a vertical look at it, and 20-inch rate, straight and flat. Nice easy decline down from 6 inches to 4 inches. Straight, flat, straight, flat, going over the bridge. Then a decline all the way down to the table level here. Comes around the table level, back up, incline to a 1, goes under the bridge at a 1, and then it starts to come up starting right here, incline all the way around till it hits all the way around here at a 6, where it crosses the bridge, hit a 6, and comes back down again, back to a 4. The outside track is a 20, I think it's a 27-inch radius right in here, and it goes out to a 30, and then crosses the bridge, and then back over here the same thing. This is unresolved over here, so this is not finished up. I don't know exactly how I'm going to take this other track out and what I'm going to do up front here yet. I need to figure that out. That's an overview. Let me show you from horizontal view so you can see the inclines. Okay, this is the look from the horizontal view. It's 6 inches going here, nice and flat and level, and then starts a decline right here, down 2 inches to cross over the bridge, goes over nice flat and level on the other side, and then starts a nice easy decline from here all the way down to the table level. Coming back up the other side, goes into a 1-inch riser underneath the bridge at 1. And starting right about here, it starts my incline again, all the way back around. Nice 4% grade all the way around to the bridge. Hits my 6 inches, goes back at 6 inches and works itself around the bridge again. Nice and flat and level. I think I've incorporated all of my fixes on this thing. Nice gentle entries into these bridges. Nothing dramatic. Nice sweeping turns. Okay, I haven't quite figured out this whole front yet. So again, all these are just loose from the midpoint here on down until I can figure out where I want this thing to come in to do my thing there. Okay, that's going to take care of the inclines. Next is going to be the prep on the inclines. It's going to be cleaning up of all this stuff and the leveling and the sanding and all of these put together points sanded down. I didn't realize it before, and I didn't do any prep after I put these inclines in the last time, how bad they were level. These things, if you take a look, even right here, I actually had to put some wood sticks in there to even get these things to level up a little bit, because they're just by putting them in their turns, they want to cant and not be level at the top, and I need them level at every point that I do anything. They're going to be checked for level. Okay, let's move on. That's the end of this one, and I'll catch you on the next one when I get all the tops of these cleaned and get ready to put some cloth on the top of them. Okay, check you later.